Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. In life, you're going to meet all kinds of people. Good, bad, and everything in between. But there's one thing that smart, successful people know better than anyone else: how to deal with toxicity. See, toxic people, they come in all shapes and sizes. Negative energy, draining your spirit, bringing you down. But guess what? You don't have to let them. Smart people, they don't engage with the chaos. They rise above it. They don't let someone else's mess dictate their peace. And in this speech, I'm going to show you how they do it. Because your peace, your success, and your happiness are too important to be held hostage by someone else's negativity. Let's get into it. Recognizing the signs of toxicity is the first step in protecting yourself from negative influences. Toxic people often display behaviors that drain your energy and undermine your well-being. One key sign is constant negativity. If someone is always complaining, blaming others, or focusing on what's wrong without offering solutions, it's a red flag. This negativity can make you feel emotionally exhausted, like you're always trying to lift them up, but they're constantly pulling you down. Another sign is manipulation. Toxic individuals often try to control situations or people to their advantage, making you feel guilty for setting boundaries or questioning their actions. They may use guilt, shame, or flattery to get what they want, leaving you feeling emotionally manipulated. You may find yourself giving in to their demands, even when it doesn't serve you, because they know how to play on your emotions, frustrating you when you expect them to be a wonderful person. And toxic people can also be characterized by unpredictability. They may act one way one day and completely change the next. This creates an unstable environment where you can never quite know where you stand with them. Their inconsistency makes it difficult to trust them or feel safe in your interactions. Another sign of toxicity is a lack of accountability. When things go wrong, toxic people rarely take responsibility for their actions. Instead, they blame others, deflect, or make excuses. This lack of accountability prevents growth and leads to a cycle of dysfunction. Finally, toxic people often refuse to acknowledge the impact of their behavior on others. They may not care how their actions affect you or may dismiss your feelings altogether. This disregard for your emotional well-being is a major indicator that someone's toxicity is taking a toll on your life. Over time, this toxicity creates a disconnect from the outer world that takes away your physical health. Setting clear boundaries is essential when dealing with toxic people. Toxic individuals will often test your limits, pushing you to see how much they can get away with. If you don't set boundaries, they may take advantage of your kindness, time, or emotional energy. Establishing boundaries means deciding what is acceptable and what is not in your interactions with others. It could be something as simple as not tolerating disrespect, or more complex, like deciding not to engage in negative conversations. When you set boundaries, it's important to communicate them firmly yet respectfully. This doesn't mean you need to explain yourself or justify your position endlessly, but rather, you make it clear that certain behaviors won't be tolerated. Toxic people often try to disregard your boundaries, and they may try to push past them. It's crucial to stay consistent with enforcing those boundaries, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Sometimes, even if it feels uncomfortable at first, the more consistent you are, the clearer your limits become, and the less likely they are to overstep. Boundaries aren't just about saying no to others. They're also about saying yes to yourself. When you set healthy boundaries, you create space for your own needs, protecting your emotional well-being and time. Boundaries also help you maintain control of your energy, ensuring that you're not constantly drained by toxic influences. In some cases, toxic people may react negatively to your boundaries, possibly accusing you of being selfish or unreasonable. It's important not to cave in to this manipulation. Respect for yourself and your limits is not selfish. It's necessary for your mental and emotional health. Responsibility is the best solution. Avoiding taking things personally is a powerful strategy when dealing with toxic people. Toxic individuals often project their own issues, insecurities, or frustrations onto others. When they lash out, criticize, or behave poorly, it's usually more about them than it is about you. Recognizing this helps you detach emotionally from their actions and prevents you from internalizing their negativity. One of the key aspects of not taking things personally is understanding that toxic behavior is often a reflection of the person's unresolved issues or deep unhappiness. Their criticism or manipulation might be rooted in jealousy, insecurity, or frustration, but it has nothing to do with your worth or actions. When you realize this, their comments and behavior lose their power over you. It's also important to remember that toxic people often thrive on creating emotional reactions in others. They may say things to provoke you, feed off your frustration, or try to make you feel guilty. If you don't take things personally, you take away their ability to control your emotions. This keeps you grounded and focused on what truly matters, rather than getting caught in a cycle of emotional turmoil. Sometimes, toxic people may even disguise their hurtful words as constructive criticism or advice, but in reality, their intention is to bring you down. By not taking things personally, you can discern the difference between real feedback and manipulation. This allows you to respond appropriately, calmly, and assertively, without giving in to their toxic energy. Keeping your emotions in check is essential when dealing with toxic people. Toxic individuals often thrive on provoking emotional reactions, and if you allow yourself to get caught up in their drama, you can lose control over your own peace of mind. When you stay emotionally grounded, you prevent them from gaining the power to control your reactions or dictate how you feel. One of the first steps in keeping your emotions in check is self-awareness. Recognize when you're starting to feel triggered, frustrated, or upset by their behavior. This awareness gives you the opportunity to pause, take a breath, and choose how to respond rather than reacting impulsively. It's easy to get pulled into a toxic person's emotional whirlwind, but by staying calm, you maintain control over the situation and prevent it from escalating. Another aspect of emotional control is practicing detachment. This doesn't mean you stop caring about the person, but it means you don't let their negativity infiltrate your emotional space. Toxic people often try to manipulate others' emotions to get what they want, so learning to detach emotionally helps you maintain your boundaries and preserve your own mental health. Staying emotionally balanced also allows you to think more clearly. When you're not emotionally reactive, you can evaluate the situation more objectively and respond in a way that aligns with your values and goals. It's easier to set boundaries, communicate effectively, and stay focused on your priorities when your emotions aren't in control of the situation. Staying focused on your goals is crucial when dealing with toxic people. Toxic individuals can easily distract you with their negativity, drama, or manipulation, pulling your attention away from what really matters in your life. If you allow them to, they can derail your progress, making you waste valuable time and energy on things that don't contribute to your success. By staying focused on your goals, you create a clear sense of purpose and direction that keeps you grounded, even when faced with toxic influences. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, you can filter out distractions and stay on track, regardless of what's happening around you. This focus helps you maintain your productivity and motivation. It reminds you that your time is valuable and should be spent working toward your personal and professional aspirations, not engaging in toxic behavior. Toxic people may try to pull you into their world of chaos, but if you remain centered on your goals, their attempts to derail you will have less impact. Having a strong sense of purpose also allows you to recognize when a toxic person is trying to distract you from your path. By maintaining focus, you can redirect your energy back to your goals, ensuring that you're not giving in to the negativity that toxic people often bring. This mindset strengthens your resilience, making it easier to brush off their attempts to interfere with your progress. Choosing your battles wisely is a critical skill when dealing with toxic people. Not every situation requires a response, and not every argument is worth engaging in. Toxic people often thrive on conflict and drama, and they may try to provoke you into unnecessary confrontations. By picking and choosing when to engage, you preserve your energy and protect your peace of mind. When deciding whether or not to respond, consider the potential outcome. Will engaging in this situation bring you closer to your goals, Or will it drain your energy and cause unnecessary stress? Sometimes, letting things go is the best option. Toxic people may be looking for a reaction, and by denying them that reaction, you remove their power over you. It's also important to evaluate the emotional cost of engaging in a battle with a toxic person. Is it worth the mental and emotional strain? Will it lead to a productive solution, or is it likely to escalate the toxicity? By carefully considering these factors, you can avoid getting caught in a cycle of conflict that only serves to harm you. Choosing your battles doesn't mean avoiding confrontation altogether. It means being strategic about when and how to address issues. In some cases, confronting toxic behavior is necessary, but only when you can do so calmly and with the goal of protecting your boundaries or your well-being. In other cases, stepping back and letting the situation unfold without your involvement is the most effective choice. Not engaging in their drama is one of the most effective ways to deal with toxic people. Toxic individuals often thrive on creating chaos and pulling others into their emotional storms. They may use manipulation, guilt, or emotional outbursts to drag you into their problems, making you feel responsible for their emotions or actions. When you engage in their drama, you become entangled in their negativity, draining your energy and distracting you from your own peace and goals. This is tricky because, even though you recognize their negativity, draining your energy and distracting you from your own peace and goals, by choosing not to engage, you set a clear boundary. You refuse to participate in their toxic behavior, which not only protects your emotional well-being, but also denies them the reaction they're seeking. This helps you maintain control over your emotional state and prevents you from becoming a part of their destructive patterns. Toxic people often use drama as a way to control others or to get attention. They may try to provoke you by creating conflict, playing the victim, or exaggerating their issues. When you don't respond to their provocations, you take away their ability to manipulate you. You maintain your calm and prevent the situation from escalating further. Choosing not to engage also sends a message that you won't tolerate toxic behavior. It shows that you value your time and energy, and you're not willing to waste it on drama. Instead, you focus on what truly matters: your goals, your peace, and your personal growth. By not participating in their chaos, you create space for positivity and constructive relationships. This is the definition. The best thing you can do for yourself is build your tolerance for positivity and constructive relationships. Protecting your peace is essential when dealing with toxic people. Toxic individuals have a way of draining your energy and affecting your emotional well-being. And if you're not careful, they can disrupt your inner calm. By prioritizing your peace, you safeguard your mental and emotional health, which allows you to stay grounded, focused, and resilient in the face of negativity. The first step in protecting your peace is recognizing the impact toxic people have on you. Pay attention to how their behavior makes you feel, whether it's drained, anxious, or upset. This awareness gives you the insight to distance yourself from their negativity. It's about understanding that your peace is a priority and not allowing others to take it from you. Another important aspect of protecting your peace is setting boundaries. Toxic people will often try to push you into situations that disturb your peace, whether by dragging you into unnecessary conflicts or overwhelming you with their problems. By setting clear boundaries, you protect your emotional space, ensuring that you're not constantly pulled into drama or negativity. How can you be an influence on somebody if you're always stretched to the breaking point? You also need to practice self-care in order to protect your peace. Engage in activities that recharge you, whether it's spending time alone, pursuing hobbies, or connecting with supportive people. Taking time to nurture your mental and emotional health strengthens your ability to stay calm and focused, even in challenging situations. Finally, learning to let go of the need to control others is crucial. You can't change a toxic person, but you can control how you respond. By focusing on maintaining your inner peace and not engaging in their negativity, you protect yourself from being consumed by their toxic energy. Showing empathy, but not enabling, is a delicate balance when dealing with toxic people. Toxic individuals often have deep-rooted issues, such as insecurity or past trauma, that fuel their negative behaviors. While it's important to acknowledge and understand their struggles, showing empathy doesn't mean tolerating or excusing harmful behavior. Empathy allows you to recognize their pain without absorbing it into your life. Empathy allows you to recognize their pain without absorbing it into your life. You can empathize with their emotions and struggles without getting caught up in their drama. For example, you can listen and offer understanding when they express frustration or sadness, but you don't have to accept their toxic behavior. Empathy helps you maintain a compassionate perspective, while enabling would mean supporting or accepting destructive actions that harm you or others. Enabling toxic behavior is when you allow someone's harmful actions to continue without consequence because you feel sorry for them or fear confrontation. By enabling them, you allow their negativity to persist, ultimately harming both them and yourself. On the other hand, showing empathy without enabling means offering support in healthy ways, encouraging them to seek help or make positive changes, but not sacrificing your own well-being in the process. You can set boundaries while still being empathetic. For instance, you can acknowledge that they are going through a difficult time, but if their behavior crosses a line, you can kindly but firmly let them know that it's not acceptable. This approach allows you to maintain your own peace while also extending compassion, and it prevents you from being dragged into a cycle of enabling toxic behaviors. Knowing when to walk away is one of the most powerful ways to protect yourself from toxic people. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, a toxic relationship or situation cannot be changed, and continuing to engage with it only drains your energy, emotional well-being, and time. Walking away isn't about quitting. It's about choosing to prioritize your peace and mental health over someone else's toxic behavior. One of the signs it's time to walk away is when you've tried setting boundaries and communicating your needs, but the toxic person continues to disregard them. If they consistently disrespect your limits, manipulate you, or drag you into unnecessary conflict, it may be a clear indication that they are unwilling to change, and no amount of effort on your part will make a difference. Another key sign is when the relationship or situation begins to negatively affect your self-esteem and mental health. If you find yourself constantly second-guessing your worth, feeling anxious, or doubting your decisions because of the toxic influence, it's time to step back. Your peace and sense of self are too valuable to be compromised by someone else's dysfunction. Walking away can also be necessary when you realize that staying in the situation is holding you back from personal growth or progress. Toxic relationships often keep you stuck in a cycle of negativity, preventing you from moving forward in your career, relationships, or personal development. If staying in a toxic environment is hindering your potential, it's time to make the difficult but necessary choice to move on. Ultimately, walking away allows you to protect your energy and create space for healthier, more positive influences in your life. It's a decision that requires strength and self-respect, as you are choosing to value your own well-being above the toxic patterns of others. In conclusion, dealing with toxic people requires a combination of self-awareness, boundaries, and emotional strength. Smart people don't let toxic individuals control their emotions or disrupt their peace. They recognize the signs of toxicity, set clear boundaries, avoid taking things personally, and remain focused on their own goals. They choose their battles wisely, don't engage in drama, and protect their peace. They show empathy without enabling harmful behavior, and know when to walk away to preserve their well-being. Remember, you are in control of how much space you give to toxic people in your life. Your peace, your energy, and your happiness are far too valuable to waste on negativity. By applying these principles, you can protect yourself, maintain your strength, and live a life that aligns with your values, goals, and purpose.